Just about every minute of driving time, someone's windshield is being damaged by flying stones, pebbles, or other road debris. And that means a lot of business opportunity. It used to be that stone damage meant replacing the windshield, but the cost of windshield replacement is very expensive, and insurance companies and car owners are requiring repair services. Here's the fastest, easiest, most profitable system available. A windshield repair kit that can make a brake like this turn into this. It's called Bluestar. The Bluestar Windshield Repair System. You probably didn't realize it, but in our opening, we already showed you most of the steps using the Bluestar system. Yes, it's that easy. The Bluestar system requires no expensive machinery, no complicated gauges. There's no mixing, waste, or mess, so it's very easy to use. We made this video to demonstrate the Bluestar system. You'll learn in detail the repair steps involved, and we'll give you various tips along the way so you can maximize your profits. If you follow these instructions, you and your customers will be pleased with the results. Let's start by looking at the items that come in our most popular repair kit, the ClearVac Mobile Kit, model UV24DX. The rugged portable carrying case gives you a way of storing the various items, as well as a way of bringing the kit to the job. An instruction booklet is included, which outlines all the steps you need to understand. It is important that you read this information. The heart of the system is the Bluestar dual-action injector assembly. There is a container of a special formula of UV liquid resin used to fill the brake, and a flow regulator, a package of disposable alignment seals, and a pack of disposable resin chambers. The kit includes 2 hoses, one to be attached to the injector assembly, and a spare that can be used as an extension, allowing the technician to operate the system from both outside and inside the vehicle. It includes a carbide-tipped probe, used to locate and clear the pit-hole surface of loose glass. There's a 12-volt high-speed glass drill with a special carbide-tipped drill bit used to make a pathway for the resin to fill the brake. There's a portable ultraviolet lamp that works with batteries, and a 12-volt cigarette lighter adapter. The kit includes accessories to allow the technician to make repairs outdoors. These items include a glass temperature gauge to monitor the surface temperature of the windshield when making repairs outdoors during hot and cold weather seasons. There is a cure guard that fits over the flow regulator and resin chamber. This ingenious little device blocks the sun's ultraviolet rays from prematurely curing the resin. There's a battery connector that allows the technician to power the drill or the UV lamp directly from the vehicle's battery when there is no cigarette lighter outlet available to plug into. There are also some supplies included, such as mylar squares, a razor blade, a safety scraper holder, and pit polish to finish the repair job. And lastly, the kit includes this training video to make learning how to use your repair equipment easy. So as you can see, a great deal of design work and engineering went into this repair kit. It includes all the items you'll need to make windshield repairs. The Bluestar system is a simple-to-use repair kit, nothing complicated at all. Before we move on to the actual repair steps, let's talk about how the repair will be made. Windshields are made of 2 pieces of glass, bonded together with a layer of polyvinyl butyrol, usually called PVB, sandwiched in between. The striking object creates a pit hole and loosens a small amount of glass in the outer glass layer that becomes surrounded by air pockets. Light hitting this break creates distortion and obstructs vision. The object of the patented Bluestar system is to evacuate the trapped air and fill the cavity with a specially formulated ultraviolet liquid resin. The repair process bonds the loose glass, reduces the visual distortion, and restores the windshield's original structural integrity. As in any repair, keep in mind that the more repairs you make, the better and faster the job will be. To start, you might want to practice on a discarded windshield. Remember, use the instruction booklet and follow along with each step. The following steps will show you how to repair vehicles parked indoors or outdoors. For our demonstration, the vehicle is parked indoors with no daylight hitting the windshield from skylights or open garage doors. The reason for this is to avoid having the resin cure before you complete all the steps. The Bluestar repair system has 5 basic steps. 1. Prepping the job. 2. The vacuum process. 3. The pressure stage. 4. The curing stage. And 5. Detailing the job. Let's look at step 1, prepping the job. The first thing to do is to clean the damaged area. This is accomplished with both the probe and the drill. First, use the probe to locate the pit hole. This may or may not be in the center of the brake. Remember that every brake is different and will require some judgment on how to handle this step. If there are any loose pieces of glass, use the probe to remove them from the brake. Next, plug the drill into the vehicle's cigarette lighter, or use the battery connector if there is no usable cigarette outlet. The drill is used to clear the pathway into the damaged cavity, ensuring there is no blockage of glass particles that would prevent the resin from filling the brake. Since it is impossible to spot pit hole surface blockages, the 60 seconds or so it takes to use the drill pays off, saving valuable time repeating the process. Position the drill at a 90-degree angle to the windshield. Use 2 hands as you drill, otherwise the drill bit might walk across the glass. You only need to drill into the pit hole of the glass until the drill bit's ball tip is below the surface. Don't apply excessive pressure on the windshield with your hands. The brake might spread into a crack. It doesn't require pressure. Let the drill do the work. Clear away any glass particles from the damaged area. Clean the area around the brake with a solvent-based glass cleaner. This is important, since many windshields have silicone coatings such as rain protective chemicals or car wash wax treatments that can affect the adhesion of the seal. Spray the rag, not the windshield, to avoid getting chemicals down into the damaged cavity, and make sure the area is dry when finished. Now take one of the alignment seals and remove the protective backing by grasping the longer tab. Align the hole in the seal over the pit of the brake with the tab pointing up in the 12 o'clock position. Press downward while moving your fingers around the seal to ensure a good bond. Remove the outside backing from the mounted seal. Take a resin chamber from your kit. Notice it also has a tab. Remove the backing from the resin chamber. Then carefully align the two, making sure the 2 tabs match up. Firmly press the resin chamber onto the seal. Again, run your fingers around, pressing firmly to ensure a good bond. Take a look at the alignment of the seal and the resin chamber over the pit hole. It's important that the 2 match up and are centered over the pit hole. Next, you pour the resin into the chamber. Make sure the container tip is unclogged, then place the resin container's pouring spout into the chamber opening and squeeze the container gently. Fill the chamber with the resin until the resin is on line with the base and stem of the chamber. Remember to recap the container. Now, connect the flow regulator to the resin chamber with a push and twist motion. It's a press-fit connection. Support the base of the resin chamber with the fingers of one hand to maintain the bond. At this point, remember that if you're making a repair outdoors, be sure to install the cure guard over the flow regulator to prevent the sun's ultraviolet rays from pre-curing the resin. Since we are indoors, we can leave it off. Next, take one of the hoses and connect the end with the larger fitting onto the flow regulator with a push and twist motion. This too is a press-fit connection. If you have the option of joining the 2 hoses together, making it longer so you can observe the resin flow from inside the vehicle or when repairing large commercial vehicles. Connect the other end of the hose to the injector assembly by supporting the injector with one hand and attaching the tube connector to the valve stem with a push and twist motion. twist the connector a quarter turn to ensure a tight fit. This completes the prepping step, and we're ready for step 2, the vacuum process. Note that the patented dual action control valve on the injector assembly has 3 positions: a forward position in line with the hose, an upright position in line with the vent, and if you turn the valve toward the barrel of the injector, an off position used to perform maintenance on the pump. The concept of the valve is a simple but important one. The control valve allows the repair process to go from vacuum to pressure with just a turn of the valve handle, an excellent and efficient design. The objective is to first remove trapped air from the brake, which allows the resin to flow easily into the brake, filling it. This is the vacuum stage of the repair, and here's how it's done. Start by turning the valve handle forward toward the hose, and push the plunger completely into the barrel. Then turn the valve to the upright position toward the vent, and pull the plunger completely out slowly. Lock the plunger into the lower notch marked V for vacuum. This begins the vacuum process. To ensure that all the air is removed from the brake, repeat this vacuum step 3 times. This is important because even a small amount of trapped air might prevent the resin from filling the brake and produce an unsatisfactory repair. Each time you turn the valve handle forward towards the hose, you will hear the evacuated air escape with a hiss. Now, twist the plunger to release the clip and push it into the barrel. Then turn the valve handle upright and pull the plunger with a slow, steady motion. Each time, lock the plunger into the notch marked V for vacuum. It's important to look at the base of the resin chamber to make sure this process is working. When the vacuum is working, small bubbles will be visible. After 3 times, place the injector barrel down while still locked on V and wait at least 10 minutes. Actually, the system is designed to work unattended, so feel free to make a phone call or work on something else. While the injector is in the vacuum phase, the resin drops into the damaged cavity by capillary action. Now you're ready for step 3, the pressure stage. After 10 minutes in the vacuum phase, you'll need to complete a final purge to remove all the air from the system before you perform the pressure step. Our experience is that the final purge maximizes the pressure step results. To do this, turn the valve handle forward toward the hose. You'll hear a hiss of air escaping. Then, turn the valve back to the upright position and back to the forward position. You'll hear more air escaping. Repeat this purge a 3rd time, ending up with the valve handle in the upright position. The objective of the pressure stage is to force the resin into the more restricted canals in the brake cavity. To do this, support the injector assembly with one hand, and with the other hand, twist the plunger to release the locking clip. Then push the plunger slowly with a steady push into the barrel. Lock the plunger with the clip into the notch marked P for pressure. Place the assembly down, leaving the plunger in the pressure position for 10 minutes. Keep in mind that the liquid resin is being forced throughout the brake cavity under pressure. Since the resin flow is different for all brakes, some brakes will fill faster than others. It's best not to rush this process. After 10 minutes, you need to apply additional pressure. This is an added effort to use the injector's capability to apply additional pressure in order to force resin into the narrower areas of the damaged cavity. Do this by holding the barrel in one hand and, in a twisting motion, turn the plunger, releasing it from the spring clip, and push the plunger down further into the barrel. Engage the plunger into one of the 3 notches marked AP. This stands for additional pressure. Since the additional pressure is only being used for 1 or 2 more minutes, it's not necessary to overexert pressure to engage the last notch. Whichever of the 3 positions can be reached with a little power will work just fine. If you happen to overpressurize and the seal begins to leak, there's no need to worry, since we are finished with the injection process. After some practice, your judgment on how much force to use to apply additional pressure will be an easy one to make. Keep in mind that the extension tubing, when connected, allows you to do the work from inside the vehicle. In this way, you can monitor the repair while working the injector assembly and change pressure settings if needed. While additional pressure is being applied, look at the base of the resin chamber from inside the vehicle to see how the resin flow is working. There should be no visible air pockets, and the brake should be completely filled with the liquid resin. If it is filled, then you're ready to remove the injector assembly and move on to the next step. If the brake is partially filled, having traces of air pockets, then you should repeat the vacuum and pressure steps. In this repair, the brake is completely filled, so we're ready to move on. Rotate the plunger, disengaging it from the clip, and allow the plunger to move on its own. This releases the pressure from the system. Then, remove the flow regulator and injector assembly from the resin chamber by twisting and pulling upward on the connection. Set it aside. Using the safety razor, loosen the outer edges of the seal and resin chamber from the windshield. The grooves in the resin chamber allow it to bend for ease of removal. Then, holding the tab, pull downward and continue to free up the seal and chamber from the windshield. Place a rag below the chamber to absorb any remaining resin. It's important not to use force or excess pressure when removing the chamber. When the chamber is removed, discard it and wipe the excess resin from the windshield with a cloth. This completes the pressure stage, and we're ready for step 4, the curing process. Gather together a few supplies. Mylar square, the resin container, the safety razor, and the ultraviolet lamp. Decide how you'll power the UV lamp with either the batteries, the cigarette lighter, or the battery connector. Once the items are within reach, apply a drop of resin over the pit of the brake. Then cover this with a Mylar square and use the safety razor to smooth out the Mylar in an upward motion. The Mylar square spreads the resin to fill the pit surface and cuts off air in order for the chemical to cure. Next, center the UV lamp over the brake area and turn on the lamp. The curing process will take about 10 minutes. Keep in mind that the UV lamp produces a high concentration of ultraviolet rays, so avoid looking directly at the light. After 10 minutes, the curing is complete. Remove the UV lamp. Our next and last step, step 5, is detailing the job. Peel off the Mylar square and discard. Then, using the safety razor, carefully scrape off any excess cured resin. For best results, use the scraper in only one direction. Brush a small amount of pit polish on the glass where the damage was and buff the area to give the brake a gloss. Then, clean the entire windshield, and the repair job is complete. As we mentioned, practice makes perfect. The more repairs you make, the more you will become familiar with the Bluestar system. Within a short time, every repair you complete will make a damaged stone brake like this turn into this. Keep in mind that supplies for your repair kit can be reordered, so you can continue to earn profits. There is the resupply kit model SVR24 that includes enough supplies to make 24 repairs, and model SVR48 economy pack that provides enough supplies to make 48 repairs. For more information about the exciting Bluestar product line or to obtain a catalog, call toll-free 1-800-809-2993.